you guys set up, then we'll check, and then maybe I've done things right this time. Oh dear. What a beautiful view of the floor. Because guys, look on the table, look what came. That's right, we have a Ganon set. We're gonna build a Ganon set. It is very cool. I'm excited. Looks like it's gonna be a pretty short build, so we're gonna do other stuff as well. But what is this? Are we not perhaps live? Let us see. I know we're running this later than I said I was going to, but that's fine. We'll just make sure that everything is together, and then we can get started. But I hope everyone is doing well. Ah, that looks good. That looks good. Oh, and we've got low lag as well. Fantastic. Okay, I'm not going to waste any time. I'm going to stand up my guys at the back. Make sure I'm in the shot as well. Cool. So, Nez Ganon, Link Mech with Ocarina, Demise, and Skyward Sword Link. Then we've got Young Link. We've got Breath of the Wild Link, the Ocarina Skulltula, Charge Set, Green Lizao, Blue Lizao, other Green Lizao, who we might start calling the Electric one. Here's the Kingdom Ganon. All of these guys fell over while I was doing the box B-roll because this quite literally got delivered, I don't know, 10-15 minutes ago. I filmed a quick bit of box B-roll and now we're live. Horse here ready for Mr. G-Man himself, who's in back 3, as I've already found out. So, hope everyone's doing well. Great time to answer questions, good time to see how the build's going to go. But of course, like we did for the tree, we're going to have a little party, ask away, and we're going to get to it. If anyone wants to see anything specific, like the manual or anything like that, do just let me know. But otherwise, I am going to just have a little ramble, talk through some plans and so on. I do actually have another tray of builds that we're going to need to get through today as well. So I need to rebuild my Breath of the Wild Master Sword pedestal, my second copy, the Tears of the Kingdom mini car, and we have 2 Ganon expansion builds that I think if you're looking forward to this set, you're going to want to see. So that is going to be very exciting to do. Why the thumbnail of this continues to be beyond me is that is no one's clue but my own. So let's get bag 1 open. Ooh, shiny. How's the sound, guys? Now, as you may know, this set does not actually come out until tomorrow. So this is very cool. Orange brick separator again, not teal. I mean, that doesn't really mean anything, but neither here nor there. And I won't lie, the figures are definitely a big part of what I'm excited for. So, yeah, I really don't think this is going to take us very long. One thing I did notice that I thought was a little sad is if you remember the Deku manual, the little progress dot, we're back to the boring plain stud, which is actually what I thought was in the previous set, but it was not the case. Oh dear, please don't tell me we're laggies. Was that just a one-off? I can't be doing internet junk today. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Sorry, I go quiet when we build the figures for the first time because this is a special moment. It's not very often I get to put together a brand new Princess Zelda from an official Lego Zelda line. Oh, and I forgot her shoulder pads, but that's okay because I want to show it off. So let's come up to the camera. This one. That is a wonderful figure. Okay, the arms have developed some controversy because we have the golden shoulder pads. Some people, I think, would have preferred skin tone upper arms, which may be a valid point. But let me show you the alternate head expression first. Oh dear, that's not fun. I do have some alternate arms on hand, but I'm a little scared to pop her arms off because this is a obviously brand new, fairly desirable figure. Not that I'm keen on its value, but I'm also keen on keeping it in good condition. So she's got an angry face. That hairpiece is so well sculpted.
Oh, I love this. And the dress as well. I could get my hands on a lavender dress so that I could do a decal version of a classic Zelda figure for a while, but I just never got allowed. Hello, hello. That figure is cool. Lego deliver mine now. I don't think our Lego is watching pics, but I think they'll get there soon. So that's a fantastic head sculpt mold. Let me bring in her companion. Yeah, that's awesome. They do such a good job with her. This Breath of the Wild Zelda figure, I don't remember where I ranked her in the original review, but it's so cool. Look at the two of them next to each other. This is what I mean. I want more figures, please. But as I was saying, I do actually have arms on hand, or potential other arms. Breath of the Wild Zelda still sucks to this day. No, it's just not true. It is just not true. Yeah, I've got arms here that we might give to the princess from Miss Piggy. So it's just whether I can not be too scared to pop them off. Are we or are we not under the correct name? Like, what are you? Oh, I highlighted 3 ads. I'm sorry, Arturo. I don't know what it's up. Has anyone else been having like heavy ads recently? Because I've been having an obnoxious amount. Can someone tell me what the stream title is as well, please? Because I thought I put this under... See, like, why is it showing me as Octane is live when it should be showing me under... Okay, no, never mind. The title is wrong, but the Night Before Final Battle thumbnail is working. But hope you're doing well, everyone. As you can see, we are a day early. I'm so excited because I really did not want to have to go to the store tomorrow to buy this when I already had one on pre-order. But this means we can get started on all the extra builds and the upgrade video and the reviews. So it's a win. Okay. So those are her beams of light. I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah, she's got a pew 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 pew. All the lasers. It's whatever. I don't really think I minded if she had this or not. I think I probably would have just taken like a dish in her hand like Doctor Strange. I mean, we can't really try that out actually, but that's cool. I'm mostly, obviously the figure is really what stands out to me. But let's be honest, she's probably only second as far as like priority. Nice watch, thank you. So it's a solar panel watch. So I've never had to change the batteries or charge it. I love it very dearly. I nearly lost it in the woods over the summer, which is a great story because the strap on it has actually been changed. And at some point, and I don't know how, it like popped detached. And it must have fallen off. And when it did, I thought I heard like a thud behind me. And I was like, oh, I looked around to sort of see how something falling out of my bag, like my water bottle. And I was like, no, nothing's happened, it's fine. And then we stopped for lunch like an hour later, and I was like, oh no, my watch. And sort of everyone I was with was like, no, like, it's lost forever, you're never gonna get that back. But I was like, but what about that thump when I was by that tree stump? So I ran what was an hour walk backwards. And what do you know, hidden there under the log, in the dark, would have been lost to time forever, was my watch. That we thought would have been lost forever, and I'm really glad because it's quite sentimental to me. So, your watch strap broke. Yeah, that's unfortunate, isn't it? Okay, so different style base to the Deku Tree, this one, because this one's going to be plate based rather than brick plate based. The other one was what I suppose more closely associated with the mills, whereas this one is not the case. But it's going to be interesting to get an idea of the scale because I have an unfortunate feeling that this model is going to be smaller than I'm expecting. The tree was always something that I said was bigger than expected. It was always what I would say was larger. It was larger than we thought. This is not going to be that, I don't think. I mean, if that is already the... Oh, I've made a mistake, but... If that is already the maximum length, that is not very big. I mean, here you go. Here's your one apples comparison. It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 5.5, 6 minifigures across. Guys, that's not big. That is not big. That being said, do I think that's going to affect my perception of value? No, I'm still expecting this to feel about on par with what I was expecting for the cost. Remember, it's only £100 in the UK. But that is a question for the review, and that we will find out in the future. Once, of course, I've built it and experienced it, which of course is the plan for today. Although there are 8 bags, so 2, 3, and 4 are the base. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 are the base, and then 5, 6, 7, 8 over here are all the Ganon builds. And look at 8. 8 is tiny. This is ridiculous. Why do we do this with bags in these modern sets? I really don't get it. What is the point of tiny bags? Old man grumbles about modern things that make things easier to build, clearly. Shockingly, he's also not that old. 1x5 plates in red. Fun. They're not like uncommon anymore, so I don't know why I make a big deal about it every time I find 1x5s. It's just I find them a pain to build with because I'm always looking for them. And I pick up the 1x6s or the 1x4s. I found that out 2 days ago when I was building the Balrog build because I wanted to get the Balrog rebuilt because I think the Balrog from that set is the closest comparison we're going to have to the Ganon build, which is also the part of the set I'm most looking forward to. I could have lived without the base, which I have a feeling, and obviously I don't want to make a judgment until I've built the whole thing so that I can see the review, do a review, but I have a feeling that I'm going to end up feeling that the base is redundant. Okay, interesting technique here as well. You see we've placed down these angled wedges on the base, on the... Nice, 5 minutes in, huh? 5 minutes in and we're dropping it on the floor. Oh, now I'm knocking everything over. If I'm not careful, the camera's going to fall. Rubbish. Rubbish. The reason they've done that is because we're going to end up using these pieces for the angling, and because they wanted the stud connections. It's clever. It's the kind of technique you get when your set designer is a Lego master, which West Harbour obviously is. So it is very cool. It's good part usage that also doesn't compromise the design. Although apparently I'm compromising my design because once again I've bodged. I bodged it because I wasn't counting plates. I wasn't counting plates at all. It's fine. Oh well, just gonna make my build last longer. Has anyone else placed in a pre-order for this set, or is anyone going to the store tomorrow to go grab it? I know that Super Minister has said that he will be grabbing one. Well, he's arrived today as well, which I think is Europe, and will be building it potentially tomorrow, which is exciting. I mean, you got it day one. I'm pleased to have mine a day early. I really did not want to trek to my nearest store tomorrow and have to stand in a queue. Although I heard that the Pokemon Day queues were kind of non-existent, which obviously was not the case from January 1st. So that was a surprise. Okay, but I imagine things will get more interesting when we get vertical. Although I do always like a good base build like this. So yeah, this is just clever because it just increases the stability of the build by using these 2x. This is something I did in my Hive Night actually as well. Actually, I learned from someone like West Talbot, I think. But my point being is we had to use that angle because without it, and you attach this on, you've now got a dodgy gap, and you can fill in most of it, but you can't fill in that unless you use a specialist tile. So the easiest way is to use one of those modified plates, and it still works because obviously it's more useful like that because it's got studs. Wow, this is going to be small. Wow, this is going to be small. Shockingly so. It really is a small set. Don't care. Still worth money. On the moment, I don't have a bad perception of value with this. Yeah, no. We'll see how that changes. At the moment, this feels on par to other sets I've bought and considered worth the value. Do I think it could be better? I don't know. If they were going to charge 60 and just give me the Ganon, then yeah, I'd take that. But we'll see. But I'm struggling to get an idea of I'm struggling to get an idea of how to express to you guys just how many squares across is it? 6, 12, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32. Ironically, this is a modular building long. Doesn't look like it though. But it's only 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It's only around a third of a modular building deep, maybe up to about half at the front. Paper bag's tripping you out, Mukulate, you're US, aren't you? That's why. We've had these guys for years at this point. I think they're so cool. Firstly, of course, right? I know you can't see through them, but look, they can stand up, which means, let's say I was halfway through my bag. I could pick up the pieces and put them back in the bag and not have to worry about the pieces rolling everywhere. 2, they stand up and look cool. And in the new box type, which you guys might not have seen, but with the Decatry, we had a new box type. It works like a tray. They're also just really cool. And it was something I was waiting for them to do for ages. They feel really nice. They open really nice, as you're going to see as we go. It's all very exciting. It won't go on so much it's not even funny then. May I suggest buying a set? Although that is obviously not an answer. I don't reckon he is coming in another set anytime soon. Like, what I've been saying to people is that the Breath of the Wild set is retiring. If you want the Link as it is now, because I do reckon it will change, get the Decatry, because I don't reckon it's going to be at least a year. I reckon. I mean, I don't have any inside information, but I do reckon there will be another Breath of the Wild Link minifigure. I don't think that is going to be something they won't produce again. Do I think we're going to get Ocarina and Ganondorf unless they start a fully fledged playset theme anytime soon? And the answer to that question is no. Okay, base is here. Notice the first of these ingots. That must mean that there's something going here that can't have studs. I think it's interesting that they've committed to that as an aesthetic. And then we've got some more tiles to flesh this off. Now obviously I know there's going to be a big Triforce going at the front as well. Okay, the only concern I'm having, again with the size, and I don't want to harp on this too much because this is a conversation for the review, is that if the base is small, that means Ganon's smaller than I thought as well. Now admittedly, that means he'll be figure scaled, but as you can see, I've got my boys along the back. I'm curious to see how he is going to work with them, specifically the Link mech, which I have pivoted to as something you can attach to this base to have like a fun mech battle. But in answer to your you want Ganon so much it's even funny, then I reckon this set's probably the best way to go out. I reckon the figure will probably settle on Bricklink around, my gut tells me $25. I think the figure will come down to, because often the Breath of the Wild figs and the ones that are staying exclusive to Decatry are around 30. I reckon Ganon will probably be a $20-25 figure because he is one of the most iconic characters and they're not stupid to know that there is a market for him. Not Lego, I mean, but the aftersellers, they know that people are going to want him for their Smash lineups. I reckon you're going to be able to get actual Beast Ganon, so like, what's his face, like the actual monster build, I reckon you're going to be able to get him for like 30, 35, but then not many people are going to sell him separately. And probably not even that, just because obviously that people know they're not going to want the base, so the base will probably go for really cheap. Oh, that is another mistake. Well done, Octane. But I reckon the biggest interesting figure price change is going to be Mr. Adult Ocarina of Time, although ignore the fact that he's in a mech right now, but this figure is going to drop, right, because it's going to be the only figure across the two sets, and now his threshold is £100, $120, so I reckon he's going to come down to a 15 quid dollar figure. I keep using British measurements because I'm silly. Wow, is this stream ad full? Murray Davison, yes, this set will be appearing in stores tomorrow. You're planning on getting it after work? That is a good shout. I hope they have some in stock. I think they will. I don't think they ran out of stock of the Decatry, although I do expect this one to be significantly more popular because the adult crowd is quite fond of this one. Although I don't think the hardcore Lego Zelda people are as keen on it, but that's neither here nor there. There's a clean base. No one can deny that is not a clean base. I know there's no solution, and I'm not usually one to complain about studs on the model, but it's not that I don't want there to be studs, it's just that I don't like the fact that all of this is smooth and then you've just got like 6 studs here. But that's very, very minor, and actually I may be convinced to come around to that if that has like stand potential. So say maybe you could attach the other Ocarina figures off to either side. The neck link, yeah, we got it. Actually, I suppose I should point out, if you guys are looking for extra instructions to expand your Lego Zelda display, the mech link, the NES Ganon, or the Echoes of Wisdom Ganon, or Calamity Ganon, all of these guys and more have free instructions over on my pay hit page. If you go to the description of any of my recent videos, you'll find a link. Most of those instructions are free. We're going to be building 2 extra side builds that are going to be for your minifigures, specifically for Ganondorf, because obviously he doesn't really have a great place on this base. and then that hopefully will provide some value to this, as well as add Ocarina link. So we're going to be going through a lot as well. Ocarina Zelda Peak, yeah. This is a fantastic minifigure. Class A. Only potential mistake, or not mistake, is weird thing, is they've chosen to go for the shoulder armor at the top with the blue shawl here. I have got some alternate arms. I was saying that I don't think I'm going to be brave enough to actually put them on her because, well, I'm not ripping the arms off my brand new figure. I may try and get a second copy of that figure. I don't feel I need a second copy of the set like I do with the Deku Tree, but that is neither here nor there. Okay, brick separator and one spare part. I'm not going to highlight all the spare parts, but this is a minifigure poser. They're always great to have more of. If you'd be interested in Ocarina of Time walks, I'd like to show on Instagram if you can. I am always keen. The chat won't let you have, Amuka, this is for you with a paper bag. I am always keen. This chat won't allow you to put links in, so if you want to reach out, you can either reach out to me on Instagram, but I also have an email, that's octane.thermoplastic@gmail.com, and if you contact me there, I will take a look as well. So always feel free to pop me an email or so on as well. How's everyone doing today? We are building a brand new set, a day early might I add, which is misleading because no, I did not get sent this or anything like that. This was my own money. It's just because obviously the release day was a Sunday. All the postal services have delivered it earlier. But absolutely, Murray, if you've got some mocks to share, I've always loved seeing what people have come up with. Love seeing more Lego Zelda stuff. It's always great when a set comes out because it really does get people sharing, right? This is Navi then. Okay, seeing a couple of interesting parts. This one doesn't show up very much. It's a flat 2x2 inverted tile. That's fun. Looks like this is going to be the tower, judging by what I've got. I've got some windows here, which maybe means Megaton Hammer as well, which will be exciting. And then, of course, Miss Navi. Although, it's great to have another one of these, but it's not like I need another one because I want from the Deku Tree. However, I will never say no because I need more of this fairy print to use for the other fairies, although this has not come on bricks and pieces, which has been really disappointing that none of those prints have shown up, but that's neither here nor there. Is everything still on the screen? Is the tile for the hammer? That's a great question. I had assumed it was this one with the jumper, but actually, now that I look about it, I think you're right, although I'm deliberately not going to flick ahead, right? We'll build it and we'll see it. Bricklink has the fairy print. Yeah, well, Bricklink definitely has the fairy print. I was hoping for a way to get them en masse that wasn't going to cost me an arm and a leg. Although I must say I need to check the Korok prices and stuff again because obviously in a dream come true world I would love to have 900 Koroks and a couple more fairies. So I probably, like I have them on a Bricklink wanted list, but the problem is because they don't show up in every store, it's not very often I'm buying from a store that has them. So what I really need to do is do a Bricklink order that is specifically just for those guys. And then just get a couple more. But yeah, I just didn't want, when I was first looking, it was straight after the Deku Tree came out. And back then, the fairy pieces were like, it was like $4 per fairy or something ridiculous. And I was like, no. I bought one extra set of Korok masks each because I really wanted to expand my Korok setup. But that's neither here nor there. Maybe it's both. I think it probably is both, Rico. I mean, we'll find out right within like the next 10 minutes. I'm not a slow builder. Other things to bring up as I'm noticing is the use of the pentagonal tiles. Now I love the pentagonal part. It's one of my favourite detail parts ever since Next to Nice. So it's cool to see those be exclusively used here, I think, for this. Mostly just because I like the part, but also because it does add to that rubble like detail layer, because they do have that weird amount of texture. Right, what am I doing wrong? I'm looking for a part in grey that doesn't exist in grey. Once again, the beautiful of Lego colour coding. Having the dark tan here instead of in dark bluish grey. Why are they not in dark bluish grey? Well, because the dark bluish grey one is used as an inverted. This tower is using sugar grid as well, because we've got the turntable, but we've also got these two studs here which are going to anchor it in place, which is neat. Sugar grid is far too complicated for me to explain, but it's basically Pythagorean triangles. Okay, this tower is going to interest me because I have a feeling that while it's going to be really cool to put together, I think it's going to feel over-engineered. Like as in a bit overcomplicated for something we basically don't see in the background. But we'll see. We'll see. Also inverted tiles as well. Why does that need to be smooth? Why could that not just be hollow? Is my question.
And we've also got the angle here. Now I do love the angle that the tower's on. That's not what I'm concerned about. It's just the upside down nature of it, which I think is a bit weird. Okay, random base assembly. These good old Technique hinges, and it looks like this is how they're doing the inversion. I thought it was going to be more complex than that, but it's not. So we just got these two sort of Technique flips, and those are probably going to go over the top of each other. It's actually a huge win, guys, that the delivery people actually delivered this to my front door today. Usually they pretend like they can't find my front door, and then they just send it to the like pickup place, which is why I didn't just start the stream at 2 and then just start building other stuff until this came, was because I thought I was going to have to run out to go grab it. But no, the guy just like showed up. I was shocked. They've not done that in a year. Okay, interesting. So because this piece doesn't have that many tiles, they've stuck a transclear bar, and the reason it's transclear is because Zelda has another one in transclear, so they're just keeping the inventory list down. But they're using a Technic pin to connect those together, which is not an illegal technique, but obviously these are completely free floating, at least for now, until we attach them to this big base. Now obviously that they're just connected. It's interesting that they bothered to connect them. I didn't really see that as necessary, but maybe it helps with the assembly. And then we're going to flip them. Ooh, yeah, slide those together like that. And then, where is it? I need a full-on Technic bar, dark bluish grey. And we are just going to thread the needle. Very nice. And pin that in a second. Made a minifigure and brickwork version of the Ocarina of Time pose, as well as a night contract for Major Imprisonment. All fun. I love the pose. Pose is one I've not got around to, but would love to get around to at some point in the future, because I do think they're super iconic, especially because you have the Ocarina of Time figures. That makes a really great addition there. I saw a fantastic Forest Temple mock the other day as well. Some more of these 1x2 slopes without the grills. That's fun. It's looking good already, thank you. It is looking small. Hard. And the Age of Imprisonment Night Contract, that is a hard one to do. So I'm curious as to how you solved that one. Okay, looks like we're doing a little bit of snot rock work. I realise my arm is covering up the base of the build. I should probably invert this so that you guys can see more. But as always, welcome in, guys. This is a lovely opportunity for you guys to ask any questions or get me to show you any parts of the build up close before we do the review. The great thing about this coming today is it does mean we're going to be getting the upgrade video out for you guys tomorrow, because the upgrades are significantly less expansive than they were for the Deku Tree, fortunately. But I have still got some pretty unique suggestions as well as some brand new side builds. So have a stick around for that. Love it. Love it when a bit of snot comes in flush like that. It's beautiful. And then it's just completely ramped off to the top, and you just got some random detail bits. Let's move this central. Having a semi-steady income leads to me spending it all on Lego. Same. Yeah, well, it happens. It does happen. Okay, so obviously I'm lining up the 2 studs here, and I've got to line up the turntable. It's not a wonderful connection. I don't love that. That is way more angled than I thought it was going to be. Okay. Okay, that helps if you actually line up the studs first, then the turntable really does just sit into place, but that is quite angled. But that is rock solid. It's really smooth. Interesting. Okay. Right. So when I was saying I think the tower feels over-engineered, I think that is going to be my feeling based on it being built upside down. But obviously we're going to test that by building it and seeing what happens. I also am really hoping that we can find a way to integrate a mini organ into here instead of the Megaton hammer, just because I think that is significantly more fitting. So we'll see. But yeah, a semi-steady income does lead to large layer expenditures, as I obviously have found out. I mean, if you guys have been watching, you know that I have a lookout landing sat behind the camera. That is sat on top of a full cave system ready for convention shows. I should be like saving up for a house. I mean, it's not that desperate. Like, obviously I'm not spending outside my means, but this is besides the point. It's just like, sometimes I look at like this cost that's coming in, and I'm like, you should really like chill out. I should really chill out. Although I do think this is my last year of spending this big. So. But then again, I say that and I'm like, I want a second Deku Tree. I think I'm going to want Ministerial. Should you do a review of the Ninja display? Yeah, if you want to. If you've enjoyed the set and you feel you have something to say, there's no harm in doing a review. My thesis is I can only do reviews for stuff I can add to. So my categories for that is whether I find a set early, like we did with the Minecraft Skeleton Dungeon back in the day, and because I really wanted that set as well. And the review gave me an excuse to buy it on release. Well, before release, I found it a week early. The Zelda sets, obviously, I try and get them as early as possible, or if I can find any minifigures that have leaked as well, I'll always try and get those as possible for Zelda, and also because I always want extra copies. And then also some of the Nintendo adjacent stuff. So we reviewed the Game Boy. Oh, speaking of, I can go grab the Game Boy and we can drag that down here. Hello. You thought the Link mech comes with the set. It unfortunately does not. The Link mech is one of our wonderful additions that I'm providing free instructions to. I've also just noticed that the camera is tilting around slowly. How is that happening? What is this about? There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Let me get a piece of blue tack, actually. But no, this fella is my own creation, and my hope is that he is the perfect size to fight off against the Ganon build. So we're going to test that later today, but there are free instructions available if you check out one of the recent videos and go to the description. There's a link to Payhip, which is where I provide my instructions and parts list, and I think it's a nice, silly, fun addition. Chilling out is lame. I don't actually remember what I specifically said that would make you think that chilling out is lame. Do you mean shilling? I don't shill very often. I should shill more. Okay, this has always been my most feeling bizarre part of the set. It's this random block of parts. Obviously is to like attach the walls to, but it just is like, I don't, obviously there's no simpler way to do it or else they would have found it, but it just really, feels really weird to me. Like, it's like so many interesting pieces that have gone into that construction to get these windows, and I would never have done it this way. But again, that's not me saying I would have done it better. I just point being is, if I was approaching this challenge, I would never have thought of having a weird central core with a weird amount of snot bricks on it. But then again, I don't have to abide by Lego stability rules, so. Yeah, sorry, I don't really know what you're saying about chilling out. You're going to have to elaborate for me. Okay, so first X2 of the build. Obviously, the Ganon build itself is going to be significantly bigger. We've just got the windows here. Nothing goes on the top of them, so they just clip in. They clip in there and then angle down. Okay, to be fair, it's worth it, right? That's lovely and flush as well. So I think it's probably going to be something like that. With the black bits. As much as I'm against capitalism, we should all be buying Lego purely for enjoyment. Everyone can do what they like, right? I'm always a big proponent of if you don't like a set, you don't have to buy it, right? They're not going to make sets for everyone. Now, does that mean that I don't think they're making too many sets? No, I think they're making way too many sets. They should really slow down. Does that not mean I think that they should make more Zelda? Of course it does. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, my general thesis is if you don't like a set, don't buy it. And also I would love for them to make more playsets, because I think they are forgetting about the kid portion of the audience. Now obviously the kid portion of the audience is changing, right? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm very much aware that children are not into toys as much as they were, and if you don't believe me on that one, then boy. Okay. Sandwich that is very smooth. Okay, I take it back. That is very, very flush. The tower is not over-engineered. There we go. You guys happy? I've eaten my words now. That being said, there's not very much room. I do not know how we're going to get an organ in there. I mean, it's going to stick out the back, right? But the easy answer is to remove these two studs here and we'll get some clip systems going. I already have an organ design, one that should fit in this space, so we'll see. Laura, you've got the notice there's a ship. Congratulations. I'm benefiting from the not making people work Sunday rule here in the UK. Well, it's not a rule, obviously, but the shippers, they don't ship anything on Sunday, so the Lego group has seen fit to take pity on us and send out the pre-orders today. I think for Europe as well, actually. But congratulations. Hopefully you'll have yours soon. You will have yours at a point where I would have already been able to make the upgrade video. So you will have a perfect idea of exactly how you can upgrade your set. Like with this fabulous Link mech. Wow. But you're joining us at just the right time because I believe bag 3 is Ganon. So we are almost there. I should have bought new ball joints, guys. I don't. He's having trouble standing. Okay, what is this section that I'm actually putting together now? Okay, don't love that. So it asked me to put this rounded piece on before the other one, but obviously that just makes it harder to put the other one on because it's partially obscured, so don't love that. Don't love that at all. Can I get some alt build suggestions in the chat as well? Because I'd really love to do another alt build like we did with Wind Waker Deku Tree. Currently, I am running with the concept of doing King Dodongo, as suggested by Howling Brooks. I think that is currently what I want to do, as I want to use the dark green to try and make a King Dodongo. But I'm not sold on it. If anyone is going to then just tell me to rebuild Ganon's castle, I would tell you I'd love to, but without access to the parts factory in Germany where I could get lots of parts for cheap, it's just not happening, because in order to do it in this style, I was going to need lots of these ingots and stuff and so on, and I just don't have access to many of those on site. What I do have access to is I got some of the unicorn horns and the 2/3 square stud hole in it, and those are going to be doable because so like I'm going to be able to like expand it. So that's part of the upgrade videos. I want to just like try and expand the rubble, but that's neither here nor there. Never played Ocarina of Time, but I still feel like I know it enough to enjoy this set. Yeah, well, it's Zelda core, right? Like I'm not here policing. I mean I've gone on record. I think I'm gonna cause a lot of harm by saying this. Ocarina is not my favorite game in the series. I expect it to arrive in a few days during the work week. That's fine. You don't need day 1 access. Well, I had also decided that I don't need day 1 access because I got day 0 access. No. Obviously, I paid for this. My money bid was not sent this at all. But I had the opportunity to go to the store tomorrow, and I decided I just didn't want to. After what I heard January 1st was like at the Lego store, I was like, I don't want to go and be in that queue in the town centre on Sunday. If it was another day, like if it was like on a Tuesday, I would 100% have gone for opening, just because I know it wouldn't be as busy. But like on a Sunday in the middle of town, I was not about that. I'm not that old, but I'm not built for that anymore. Those release days are getting insane. I'd much rather do a pre-order at home if I can guarantee that it comes early. What gave me sort of the skitters is that when I did this for the Game Boy didn't arrive for like a week and a half, and I was like, that's dreadful. Considering I paid months ago. I know it's whatever, like realistically it doesn't matter, but I wanted to review that set, and it significantly damaged the hype for that, I think, unfortunately, but it's neither here nor there. I just wish the pre-orders were guaranteed to show up on the day or day before if it's a weekend, so but that's very content-brained of me. Right, so we have, this is very confusing, so this is built up this way, but then we've done a quick inversion at the top. This build is built up right, and then it's a classic Technic pin inversion, and then we just pop that on. God, imagine being West Tower, it must be so much fun. What's happened there? Oh, there we go. I think I pushed it down a little bit too much. That's cool. I wonder how I'd feel about having like black 1x4 tiles on the tops here as like awnings. We might try that quickly. Ganon Train. There's no Ganon Train. I want to do Zelda's mech, but that's neither here nor there. That's a separate project, I think, entirely. I was going to see if K2SO had any... He does, yeah. 1x4 black tiles on his legs. Poor K, he's really been through it as a Parksters owner on these last couple of streams. He helped me fix up Look Atlantic as well, which was ironic. Right, I just wanted to try this. So here's the tower as it is. I wanted to see what I'd like, see if I'd like the look of it with a 1x4 tile on there. I kind of do actually, because it kind of continues the roof down. Or maybe, to be honest, I might also like those in like just around there. I don't think I have any of those in here to test it. That's a lie, actually. I do. I have some in my spare parts box. Huge fan of my more absurd builds. Me too. I like being able to be silly is a gift. And I don't use it enough. Okay, so why did I buy a 1x4 dark bluish grey tile in my last Brooklyn quarter? Because like I cannot find which build needed these. Apparently it was GSI, but I can't find a single missing dark bluish grey tile on GSI, so
Just need the handle there. Let's try with up just quickly, see what we think. As we'll try out these things as we go. How's that look? I think I like that. I think I like that quite a bit, actually. And the great news is those parts were in my spare parts catalogue. Although it does remove studs. Oh, wait, hang on. Is that one of the studs that gets used to pose Link on? Oh, maybe we can't do it then. Either way, I think I might be adding those because I don't think I'm going to be displaying Link jumping from the rooftop. So that is the actual tower build. Should we put the Megaton hammer now and I'll stop stalling. Right. I've got to remember where those black parts came from. K2SO's legs. If I make a community post asking later, where did those things come from? You better guys remember. You guys better remind me. Okay, so that red stud is going to be where the Megaton hammer goes. Let's see, what did they come up with? It was indeed this inverted tie. Keep going on Bricklink to get pieces and then accidentally getting minifigures. Yeah, it happens. My Bricklink rule is always choose the stores based off the parts I need, but then have a look through the parts of the rest of the store to see if they have anything that I need and benefit from. This is a fun little build. This is very classic, I feel. Right, we stick the arrowhead through, we've got the big fat sort of hammer part, handle on it, and that goes on there. That is a sweet build. We will find a link for it later, but that is a great Link equipment. That's fantastic. And it just sits here. Now, it will not be staying here. I'm going to organ this. I just cannot not have an organ in that tower. Too much of a good reference to pass up on. Okay, Navi time. So, more of these transparent minifigure stands. They do love these. So that's really cool. Actually, that's a really good thing that they've done. Is they've made sure that the Navi stand is built basically identically to the one from the Deku Tree. So it just means that if you didn't want her floating above the tower like she's going to be, it just means you can sort of stick her in the ground and have her sort of be like she's by Link's side. And I think that's really cool. In fact, there's even, I don't know if this was deliberate, but there is a spare 1x1 round that is available as a spare in the set, so you'd even be able to stick her in the ground. That's really cool. That needs to go on the list for the review because while I don't believe the inclusion of the stud is intentional, I do think that making sure that this stand works for her in a horizontal position is deliberate. So we can put her there. That is a nice stiff connection. We can angle her around. Let's come up to the camera. Actually remove the chat. Man, I'm wondering if I'm going to buy the set now or wait for discounts or store release. So it will come to Amazon and other retailers in 2 or 3 months, I think. Probably most likely just Amazon. Deku Tree, I think, was an Amazon exclusive. Unless anyone has any account of finding one in a Walmart or something. But look, there she goes. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. Hey, listen. Hey. Excuse. Hello. She can hide away as well. Perfect. Did that get annoying? My advice is always to wait for discounts. Zelda for me is a very special case where I waited for this license for, actively waited for this license for, I think it's for 15 years at this point. So I will day one every set, and also I have the channel. So not that the channel pays for the stuff, but obviously, there we go. That's cool. That's a spongy connection, but it's not bad. It is very secure. I can hold this upside down. I want to point out again, I do have large hands, but this is not a big model. That is a really cool sort of dynamism, moving up towards the left there. I quite like that. That also felt like a nice, satisfying build. I'm happy with that size of bag. Now, obviously, that's not an actual valid criticism for the set, is that the bag felt too small, but I do really like it when a bag feels like it lasts more than 5 seconds. Which, again, admittedly, is unfair of me specifically, because I build fast as well. Also, one of those is spare is fantastic. I would have liked the lock-on colours for Navi again. That would have been nice. At least specifically the lock-on colour. Another one of those unicorn horns, which is going to be useful for expanding the rubble. Guys, it's time. I do really like the tower. I know I was talking about potentially it being over-engineered, but I do really like how it looks. Guys, it's time. This is the moment. This is the time. You do not want to look away, because it is time for the big man. It is time. He's gone silent in the anticipation. Oh. Big cardboard box.
That's the capes. Up close look. You'll get one. You'll get an up close look once he's built. We're going to try a couple of things right here on the spot. Oh, all the fire too. Oh, no, don't go running. I thought that the hearts might be in this bag as well. So that's a detail I'm really looking for. So I wanted to make sure I got all the stuff out of that box. Right, like for the fourth time, like 5 minutes, let me stand up, grab some parts. Okay, let me get a focus. There we go. So we've got these wonderful dual modded legs in tan. I personally would have preferred white, although tan does not look bad. So there we have the figure, and this is what I think really sells it. It's the inclusion of this beautifully decorated existing armor piece. See, this is what I often go on about. You do not need to make new molds every time for parts like this when we have fantastic ones like this in the catalogue. And he's got the printing underneath, so this lines up perfectly, and it adds a shadow. It's beautiful. Side of leg printing, yeah, no sidearm printing, but that is consistent with the other figures, so that is fine for me. It just adds that bit of shadow underneath, that bit of texture and that bit of armor there that works really, really well. Let's grab the head. So, he is a pupilless figure. Now, if you're a Lego Star Wars fan, you're probably going to hate me for this. I love the no pupils look, because it does make them evil, and actually... Okay, admittedly, he has no pupils on this specific side, because this is his little, like, Rage glowing with Triforce of Power face. However... other figures like Palpatine do actually still have pupils, they're just white instead. But that is his main face. That is the classic Ganondorf smirk right there. I know I've forgotten the cape, just give me a sec, I want to do the base figure first. And then here's that headpiece. Ah, perfect, look at that. Okay, that is, the shadow there is quite pronounced. Like if you were to, that's not a fair look, if you were to have him on a shelf like this, that is just too shadowy, I think. But if you actually get him up like this, he looks fantastic. Let's try the other face. I really love the headpiece too. I think they couldn't have done this better. I was almost half expecting them to reuse the goblin hair and then just do the print on the face. I think they could have got away with that too. But giving him that extra forehead there and the really thick eyebrows really works. So there it is with the alternate face. Don't love that one as much purely because... Sorry guys about the focus. I just don't think you can quite... get the same level of detail because of the shadow, like his eyes almost feel hidden. But I don't know, maybe that's just me. I want to take a quick look at this mold as well. Ugh. Oh, the mold. The molds are just so good. Their mold designers are so talented. I felt this way with the Deku Tree, but specifically their mold designers are on game this time. You just don't get this anywhere else. This is why whenever they get a new IP, I get excited, is because they can do... Like, this is clearly a piece of art on its own, just what the designers are able to do with this. Love that. Should we open the cake box now? I even love the head print under there, though. It really does remind me of the Artem Bazayev one, if you guys know what I'm talking about from the idea submission. I think there's 2 capes in here, right? Yes. I've been so excited about this. They didn't need to give him this cape here for the big boy, but I love that. Oh, that's such a lovely material as well. It's different, right? Like, it's the more spongy one. That's... Yeah, that's a lovely piece. I'm really, really excited about that. But obviously, what we're here for... Oh, it's the soft material too. I thought it was going to be the starchy one. So firstly, we have this side with the Lego Nintendo logo. You can put this on the inside and have it plain. I do kind of love it with the logos. That's fine. This is, again, this is gorgeous. This is a gorgeous piece. Other day was your birthday. Happy birthday, Roger. So I consider this stream as a birthday gift to you. I consider it a birthday gift to this man right here, Lego Ganondorf. But you're more than welcome to take it that way. I love the ambiguous shape of the ears so that you can read them as round or pointed as you prefer. Absolutely. Oh yeah, to be fair, I didn't even consider that. It looks to me like... Okay, kind of... Yeah, I'm going to take it as that they've probably done it deliberately. However, it could just be that they took the existing, like, Link ears and just literally, like, polygoned them. But that's neither here nor there. I actually think they've made the cape a little bit longer to account for the fact that you're going to, like, put the armor on the top. Or am I supposed to put this over the armor? Does anyone actually know? Ah, over the armor. Okay, so I was on the verge of damaging them.
So, Roger, these are the spongy capes. Well, they're actually, I'm going to say they're thinner than the spongy capes. They feel a little thinner than like the Darth Vader spongy one that I'm used to, but maybe that's a mistake there. Let's go for his human form here. Now, if I was getting really greedy, I'd be like, they should have included a second cape for his like raggedy one. What I love about the spongy capes is that they have that drop to them, or that slightly more elevation. Although I would have been really interested to see him with the molded cape. I will say the Doctor Strange cape wouldn't fit over the armor piece, so we'd have to take that off. But that is something I'm going to have to try when I next have my Doctor Strange with me. I'm sorry, I should have brought him with me for this set. Yeah, I think it's just the lighting in here, but the shadows on his eyes are really, really throwing me. It's not as bad when he's at eye level. I think it's just because obviously the camera's angled down. But yeah, there's that. So he doesn't come with any accessories per se. But don't worry, I have us covered. You're going to see these in the video tomorrow. But we've got a couple of things I need to try right now. So if you're waiting for the build, I apologize, I'm going to wait a bit longer. Firstly, let's get these out of the way. These are the Zelda arms. I don't think I'm going to be brave enough to do it, but those are the ones from Miss Piggy. They are a perfect substitute if you're not happy with the gold. We've got some yellow lightning. Actually, to be honest, these could also go on Zelda, but this is specifically for Ganondorf when he's doing his tennis match. And you're going to see why later, because I have a special build for that. But one thing I do want to try is we're going to try these power pieces here on him now, and then we're going to see what he looks like as Phantom Ganon. Now, this is not the perfect headpiece for this, but it will make do for now. Okay, so let's give him Zappies. Or does this one look better? Okay, chat, pay attention. 1, this one here. 2, this one here. Or 3, with the longer lining. What do we think? I want numbers. Oh, that's gone forever. I'm kind of almost hoping we don't pick 1, because while I think 1 looks really good on him, I think that 1 is going to look better either on the princess. Let's try her. Like that. I think this is the one for her. She looks like a superhero and I love her. Love that. And then I heard that Lucas said 2. Let's try both on him, because I made sure to get 2 of each for both hands. Got the news my set arrives March 8th, billions must die. It's not necessarily true, Organism. It may be that it comes early. They do that, because mine was originally scheduled, when it shipped, it was scheduled for March 13th. So they can have a pew, 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 Triforce power magic jewel. Oh, we have too much fun. We have too much fun. Oh, yes. The other thing we wanted to do. Look who has a Weathertop horse here. Me. And I wanted to try Mr. Ganondorf in the saddle. That's awesome. Yeah, look at that. Isn't that fantastic? Love that. He's there on the horse. That looks so sad. What do you mean it looks so sad? I'm offended. Okay, I've taken his head off because the other thing I wanted to try, I can't remember if Phantom Ganon has a cape or not, but the most dodgy, purest Phantom Ganon you could imagine. There is the crossbones face that would be better for this. And although it's not perfect, this is my original staff design from back in 2020 when we did the first CMF series. I know it's not perfect like recreation there, but it feels special to me to have that on a Phantom Ganon, even though I really hate how this head's been done. Hero of Time was right. Using the crossbone face instead of this one would have been better. But let me just have a look at him with his normal head and hair, but with the same staff, because I just want to see. And then we will start back 3. Yeah, look at that. That's cool. Give him some lightning as well when he goes zappies. That's just cool. I like it. Oh, not getting this out on time. That's what you were sad about. Okay. There he is. Okay, so not the best Phantom Ganon in the world. I should have got that other part, but this is a top tier minifigure. Potentially, it's going to be one of the best of the years. I mean, I don't have him in his correct form right now because he's wearing his Traveler's Hood, which I gave him, along with the Minecraft cape to recreate that one. But these are probably my favourite two of the figures we've had across the Zelda theme so far. Let's put him down. If there's anything else anyone wants me to show them, just let me know. But otherwise, I think it is time we start bag 3. I'm surprised they let that come folded, but whatever. I'm gonna put that back in there and then start bag 3. Because we have a build to do. So this looks like it's gonna be the Ganon Rises from the Rubble feature. So we're starting to fill in this back area where we have all the hey, ooh, hey, hello, hey, listen, hey. We're gonna start filling in the back. I love doing something stupid like that bit and then watching the viewer count drop by 3. So funny. It's so funny. Never gets not funny. Okay. Right, so we've got some rail systems going on, some orange tiles, so a lot of this is mechanism. Muga, is that smart? You were the one earlier that was like, as soon as I had a stable job, I started spending all my money on Lego. Now, as an adult who has income, I can tell you, please save money. This set will still be here in a month or 2. You know, I do not want to be inciting no FOMO. It will still be here. The figure will still be the same. And then you too can have a cool set, but also while not putting you financially in peril and losing your limited sources of money. It's not smart. Yeah, it's not smart. You can wait. You can wait. Plus, you can just experience it here. Octane thermoplastic streams. Never claimed to be super intelligent. No, I'm sure you were intelligent enough to know that buying every set day 1 is impossible. As I said, I want a second Deku Tree. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. I'm trying to get one of you, but if anyone wants to sell me a Deku Tree with all the figures, I'm open to buying a used one or a glued one. In fact, I want to say this while there's actually people here. If anyone has a misprinted Zelda figure, any of the Zelda figures, but they find it misprinted, let me know. I will pay. I desperately want a misprinted Zelda figure. So we're using trans yellow like it's Triforce power, which is cool. Probably just because the part was there, but it is still neat. And that's going to sit in there, and it looks like this is going to be the actuator, which is fun. I just like it. I like to imagine that stuff like it being trans yellow means something. So to me, that's Triforce power allowing Ganondorf to activate this feature. And we've just locked that in, so this can only move about 2 steps. My need for impulse buys grows strong. Yeah, but that's why you have to resist. More 1x5s. So far, I think we've had more 1x5s than we have 1x6s. To be fair, actually, I don't think I've seen a single 1x6 at this point so far. This is not relevant in any way. I don't think the 1x6 is going extinct by any means. But it's quite close to a tower. Again, highlight. The set is so small. It's not a bad thing. I'm just saying it's small. It is indeed factually small, but worth it. Those figures are incredible. Like those figures, those are on par, if not higher quality than CMFs, and that's not including licensing. Like I would never recommend buying from the scalpers, right? But if you found those figs for 10, I think 10 is a reasonable price for those. If Lego were like, hey, do you want to buy this figure? How much is it? It's $10. I would buy that figure. Then going on really attached to the license. But that's interesting. Okay, so it's just a like Tannic sub-assembly, but it's just I'm sure it's here for a reason, but it's just remarkably flush with this angle. I quite like that because it almost rounds it up. That's nice. It's nothing special. It's just I like putting this kind of stuff out. Your impulse is controlled by the Triforce of Power. Then can I suggest you instead use the Triforce of Courage? Badoom! You saw the leaks for Series 29, the minifigure series, and you're really excited for Tahu and Lloyd. I'm going to be getting that Tahu figure. I was never buying an person, but I just think it looks like a really neat figure. The ones I'm personally more interested in is I love the Elven Princess. I think she looks fabulous. Obviously, heavy reminders of
Zelda stuff, obviously. But really like her and her little unicorn pet. I think also just like separate from all the Zelda stuff, I just do think it's a fantastic figure. I also really like the, oh my goodness, I'm forgetting. There are a couple of figures in there I like, but the dinosaur is potentially the most useful one. I know I've had a couple of people talk to me about the idea of using them for Silver or Stal as Alphos now, but I'm not convinced just because it looks a little robot-y, but it's still a great start, and the tail coming in white is a big deal. I was trawling through Bricklink this morning looking for potential torsos that we could use with that. I haven't seen them all. Oh, there is a picture out there for all of them, if you guys know where to look, which, I mean, if you're deep in the Lego space, I feel like you do. Know what tags need to be searched to find out the information that you seek. Okay, lots of small pieces, but it is building up a nice pattern. It's the roof piece here, the roof tile. And this is why I won't be expanding upon the castle anytime soon, because it's going to require me to get metallic ingots, and it's going to require me to get someone, I'm telling you, some German or like crazy American builder that has a lot of money is going to do it. And it's going to be the darling of the internet, trust me on that. But it is not going to be me, because one, the funds, two, I'm not about that. I'd much rather build my small stuff. Well, he says small, looks across to his giant lookout landing that's on his desk. It's very cool though, guys. I'm very excited for you guys to see it. I've been having the time of all times to make sure it's all working for a show, because that model has to lift up in the air. But that's a nice compact stud reversal. Oh, it's not even a stud reversal, but it's nice and compact. That's cool. Okay, so it looks like that's where Mr. G-Man himself is actually going to sit. So we flip this over. Oh, dear. I'm dropping things again. And then we just got to attach the bits and pieces. That can't be a new part. I'm sure I've seen it before, but that is a part that's less than common. It's just a thinner version of one that already exists, but I just like it when the designers use the new parts in the catalogue, and it's cool. I'm not excited for the aftermarket of the Zelda sets. Well, you're not going to have to worry, right? Because you already have a Deku Tree. That is the big thing. I'm not an investment marketer, but I'm pretty concerned that the Deku Tree aftermarket price is going to be awful. So if you do think you want it, guys, it's retiring in July. I don't think waiting is the move, because I really don't think it's going to maintain a good price. So if you're thinking you want the Deku Tree before it retires, and you know it's expensive, I only think it's going to get worse. So to do with that information what you will, because all the 3 of those 4 figures are going to remain exclusive. I don't think we're getting a set that are going to have all of them in again. Then there's stuff like the Hestu and the actual tree itself. That set's going to go high, because if you look at the prices people are attempting to charge for them online, it's not pretty. It's not pretty at all. But luckily, if you're in the position I'm in, I don't need to worry about the aftermarket. Well, I will because I do want a second copy of the tree. I know I want a second copy of the tree. I just don't think I'm gonna. I don't know. I'm yet to decide. It's a smart idea. Yes, I'm really looking forward to the trash monster. Oh, that trash monster was the other one. Thank you, Carol. That was the other big one that I am looking forward to. I really like the new skeleton fish, but also just the trash monster and his little goopy head. It's so much fun. The unicorn elf, I think we can both agree there is probably the best one in the series. And then you said the cute witch. Not one for me, but again, I do think that one's really useful. We were looking at that with the potential it could have uses for Agatha from Twilight Princess. So, take that as you will. Take that as you will. Decided you need to get it before it retired, and I did. Thank you. Yeah, so you're all good then. So why are you worried about the aftermarket prices then, huh, Mika? You don't need to be. In your specific case. Now, are you worried in general as a concerned member of the community who is concerned for the people that haven't managed to get it? Sure, fine. But like, why are you specifically worried? Okay. So, let's bring this up.
That's a small build, but cute. So, there's our ruins so far. This is the roof segment. I think it's going to look better once this stuff's in here. I'm not a huge fan of the immediate transition to there. But, boop. That's nice. That's strong. You do have to push it down, although because it doesn't quite have gravity. But that is a really clean, small motion. Let me show you from around the back. That's fun. Heading out for a nice Saturday out. Have fun. Thank you, Carol. Thank you for stopping by. Look forward to the upgrade soon. But have a wonderful Saturday out. Hopefully it's nice weather for you. Okay, so I was a little worried about putting him in here, just because I wasn't sure about the sandwiching of the cape. But they've left a bracket and a half's worth of space, which is pretty decent. I mean, there's also the toe print concerns. See, look, his cape's bunching. I don't love that. So you just gotta be careful about how you put him in. And then we swoop that down. That's gone in. Yeah, there's a little bit of clearance. Sure, and then... Can we do it slower, like he does in the game, like a... Okay, noted. Display piece, not playset. Luckily, as predicted, it's pretty stable. I'm pretty sure. Apart from the Megaton hand has gone flying somewhere. I've got to find that now. The Harlequin hair in a different colour would be good for Agatha. Yeah, it would. It was the dress pieces on the witch that we're thinking of mostly for her. Your pug took a spot on the bed. That is unfortunate. You will have to fight for its dominance to get it back. Well, classic drop. Anyway, tower's back. I don't think it was damaged. I don't love roof. I'm not loving the inversion there, but that's fine. Nothing looks broken. Just obviously fell off the base. I did say it felt like a spongy connection. Let me try and press it down further this time. Did I or did I not say that? I was like, it looks secure. It's very secure, but it is a spongy connection. I was not wrong. It was spongy. Push that down. Cool. Right, Ganondorf is hidden forever, and that is why you guys are going to need these side builds, because who wants to have their Ganondorf hidden forever inside their build? It does mean I can go. Cool. We're not done with Act 3 though, because we've got fire time. Now the fire was actually another part of this that I was actually really positive on. I really quite like this firewall. I am quite excited by it. Let's see if I'm disappointed. Although it very much has Anakin versus Obi-Wan vibes. There's another set that has fire like this, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure. I think there's another set that had a firewall like this. Not that I'm remembering fully off the top of my head. And there's a little bit of variation to it, obviously height-wise, but also from the plates underneath, which is fun. And I'm glad that they committed to including this much fire, because like sometimes you see them get twitchy about including large-scale things of like the same like vibe, if you know what I mean. Like sometimes I'd be like, oh yeah, they wouldn't include a full firewall, but they went, no, hang it, let's include over 14 fire pieces in one step, and just like, yeah, go for it. You do you. Fun. And then 4 more on here. And then we get to add all the fire pieces, which, are they going to be too fragile? Are they going to fall off? Let's see. We're going to figure it out. Ooh. There's like nearly 30 of these in here then, that's fun. Because some of they're alternating the heights of the fires, which is really cool. I like that. If you're wondering, as this is the commentary that I go through as I'm building every set. Perfect. Nice and buried. That is wonderful. That less so. So it's an alternating pattern. So there's no natural variation. It is just literally going to be big fire, small fire, big fire, small fire. I assume because the pieces would clip, but you can rotate them out of the way. That's not really like a big deal. It's interesting. I don't know why they've chosen to not trust the people there. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's still going to look great. It might just look a little symmetrical. That might make the upgrade video, potentially. We'll see. I've got to remember all this stuff, is the problem. But yeah, we're going to build the set, we're going to build the extras, and then I'm probably going to call it, and then just get to work on the upgrades video. See if I can get it done tonight. Get it scheduled for tomorrow.
So I'm kind of feeling tired. I mean, it's not like late. It's only like 4:30, and it's not like I've done anything today because I basically cleared the whole day once I knew that this ship, not a ship. It's not a spaceship, is it? Once I knew that this set was shipping. Because I knew. Okay, now that's better than I thought. Yeah. No, I was right to be pleased with that. That's fun. Got to go, octane, no worries. Hope you'll have a good day, Muka. You'll get the set soon enough, I'm sure. Hi, Andri Mascarenas. Andri Mascarenas, 8591. Hello, lovely to see you. I'm doing a great job. We are finishing up Act 3. We're building the Ganon set. The real one. I got it a day early. I didn't find it in the store. It just, I got lucky with delivery. So we're putting it together today. I was hoping this would happen. To be fair. Let's not act like this wasn't on my schemes. I'm so glad. I'm so unbelievably glad I don't have to go to the store tomorrow. You do not understand how much I wasn't looking forward to going and standing in a queue for a set that I already had on pre-order. That's what I do though for Zelda. I hope you're having a good day. A great chance to ask any questions as always. And especially a good chance to see the set up close and these specific angles. We have got a I don't get tired of simple features like that. They're too much fun. They are too much fun. So what I love that this one does have more playset-y kind of vibes than the Deku Tree. I mean, the Deku Tree does have playset stuff too, so like it's not a fair statement really, but this one definitely has more of that energy. Okay, so do I love that they covered up most of the fire from around the back? Not really. I kind of would have preferred if that was visible, but that's fine. You can still see bits and pieces of it, I suppose. It's nice to have some texture so that it's not completely flat. And another bunch of spare parts. And then, looks like it's last minifigure time, because it's time for the big man. Of course, this is not by any means an interesting figure. I mean, it's still a really great figure, don't get me wrong. It's not interesting, because we do already have one of these. I have two, but that's neither here nor there. This is Adult Ocarina Link. No, actually, sorry, he's the only copy of this figure that I only had one of up until now, so he's my second Adult Ocarina Link, as it is for most people. It's still a fantastic figure. You can see my original one over here. No ocarina included in this set. Up in his mech, which you can get free instructions for over on the payment page, which is in the description of most of the videos, not in this stream because I'm incompetent, obviously. But yeah, this is cool to have. It's cool to have another second order. What I was going to say. Hey, Optimal's good. Lovely to see you, Logan. How are you doing? Everything is good because look what I have a day early. Isn't that awesome? I got it a day early. Thanks to postage. So, yes, sorry. Cool to have Link. What is more important to me? The second one of these guys, specifically the Hylian Shield. I've been craving a second Hylian Shield. Yeah, because I didn't get a second one of these. I do have a second Master Sword, so that's not nearly as exciting. So this is my third Master Sword and my second Hylian Shield. I'm excited to have these purely because my Ocarina Link usually has the Ocarina and the Deku Nut, and I give the Hylian Shield and Sword to my Breath of the Wild Link. Because I have a set, which means I never get to play the Travelers, but it also means I never have an Ocarina one with this. So it'll be cool to have a proper Ocarina one, and also just more Hylian Shields to spread around. It's always going to be good. Plus, I'm never going to turn down another classic Link, even if it's from the same games as normal. I'll give him the angry face. But everything is good, yeah. Very hard work. So this is the halfway point. This is bag 4. The rest of it's Ganon after this. So there he is. He's absolutely classic. That's a beautiful figure. Still has the dual molded legs. Obviously, it is the exact same figure, which is great. It's good to have him. He had to be here. Obviously, I'm never going to complain about more links, even though he's going to be far the most common one. Would I have wanted different outfits? Would I have wanted different scenes? Of course, right? But it is inevitable that you're going to dupe up on links, and especially because he comes with great accessories, I really, really do not mind at all. I'll do it one more time before I start building on this again. Where is it? Get down there, Ganon. Get out of my way. Okay, looks like we're continuing with the rubble. We've got another sugar grid vibes going on here. that shouldn't have been placed at this step. That should have gone down at a previous step. But whatever. And I don't mean like I did it wrong. I mean like I don't think that that was a fair connection to ask me to make. You know, it just makes the end of February that bit better that I have it early. Because yes, this experience will be over within 2 hours of this model entering my house, but this is not the end because I've got build plans, I've got videos to make. I'm going to rebuild it as well, 100% I'm going to rebuild it. Specifically, I think my expectations are highest for the Ganon. This I've enjoyed. My higher expectations are for the Big Man. I really think I'm going to enjoy that. I'm really hoping I enjoy that. I've got the barrel rock here to compare it. I really enjoyed putting the barrel rock and the booklet together. So. Okay, so same setup as last time when we had a piece on an angle. It has the turntable with the sugar grid bits and then the tiles just to continue its support. How have they flipped this? So they've flipped it so that it's like that. Someone is going to mess that up, I guarantee it, I think. I assume it doesn't matter if you do mess it up, but it would have been nice for that to be clearer. But there's not really much they can do about that one, so I'll let them have it. I know I get really picky about instruction quality. Ooh, this is the secret feature they didn't advertise. It showed up in all the obviously the media reviews. But this is going to be where all the heart containers go, because you can break this section of rubble to get some hearts. That's fun. See, that's the kind of thing I love and want, and which is why I want this to be a playset thing, and why this is what part of this set that makes me the happiest is that it has playset vibes. Because stuff like that is so important. It's so charming and cool and special. All of the adjectives, it's all of them, I love it. And then we have one of my new hinge pieces, but that's jumped. It's angled downwards on that slope, which is really cool. And then we need to angle it using grid again. So I learned that the easiest way to apply sugar grid is to line up one of the stubs first and then go the rest. That's fun. A little bit of turntable showing, but again, that works here because it's rubble. Those are really secure. I'm impressed that they got such a good sugar grid hold because I was not capable of getting that because I've tried sugar gridding stuff before and it's never usually so successful for me. So we're now building the platform covers that are going to go on top. I really like the texture that they've attempted to get using the various different tiles and so on. That's fun. Like it looks cracked because they've used the pentagonals and so on. That's really quite charming. They've laid some studs on there, which is also great. And then this is the kind of detail section that again was part of the reason I'm not going to expand the castle, but also just is good to know, is that they've got the 2/3 of a brick height pieces here, and we're doing dark grey unicorn horns. Is the core. So when these come on bricks and pieces, I will probably place an order for some because I do want to at least potentially expand the rubble. Although to be honest, at that point it might be easier to buy a second copy of the set. I really don't know. I don't really want to buy a second copy of the set. What I want is a second Princess Zelda so that I can try out the arms. I'm not like set on a second Ganondorf, but it would be fun. It would be cool. And I think I want a second copy of the base, potentially. But I'm assuming there are people that are not going to want the base, so I think I'm going to be able to pick one of those off of Bricklink for fairly cheap, and then maybe we can expand the setup. That would be an interesting video. Now that's something I would like to do, I think. So we've just put the hearts in this box. Let me lift that up.
So there are 3 heart tiles in here in red. We called it, this was the piece they were going to be using. We're about to put like a piece of rubble over it. I'll angle it like that. And then there's also one of Ganon's foot pieces we put down here as well.
That's really cool. That sounds like a fun video to me. So yeah, I might look around on eBay after release for anyone that's selling a base off for cheap. Okay, interesting that they kept this pattern the same. That's curious to me. I would have assumed they would have wanted to randomize it, but does that line up with anything? No, not really. Oh, well, I mean, I don't mind. It's just interesting to me that it is the same. Like, why? There's no real benefit or loss to being this. Just design choices. See, then it gets weird because it's like from an instruction perspective, they could have put them in the same step. Sure. Cool, and then that just sits there. Yeah, that looks great. That's just it's angled slightly funny. Like I don't love this one being flat. No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm overthinking it. Right, what are we doing now? We're reaching that point now where I'm like, well, what's actually left on this display base? We have this interesting assembly here, which is a bar between two clips. It's going right down here underneath the Ganon section. Get down there, Ganon. Silly Ganon. Oh, it's just to angle some rubble. Well, that's fun though. That's very mock coded. I'm pleased with stuff like this because it's an extra step. I really like that. Extra rubble is always going to go down well in my eyes, and maybe this is what I'd be more suited to adding, is buying a load of clips. I do think the best way is to be buying a second copy of the set. If I do want to do it, I think that is going to be the answer though, because you just get all the parts you need. Is that just what sits on there? Oh, I missed a piece. Okay, whoops. Making great use of that new element. Yeah, so it's just like a little section of roof, and it just clips onto that bar there. That's fun. It just, yeah, it's quite collapsy. It's collapsy. You know exactly what I want. Yeah, you guys know. I'm gonna shut up. Ooh, so we get a spare heart piece as well. Plus, you don't really need 3 in there, although 3 is the traditional number to break out, but it's always good to have a spare. Looks like we're prepping to do the Triforce now. This is a build I want to pay attention to because, again, this is another one of those ones that if the parts ever come to bricks and pieces, I will probably get the parts to do this because I think an extra Triforce on any build I do could be interesting and fun and also make a lot of sense to include. So I'm totally not against adding more Triforces. I thought there was another section of rubble as well. I think there still is. I think I'm getting ahead of myself. So we're doing the basing here. I assume this is necessary for supporting the structure of where it's going to go. We got one of the modified bricks with stud in the middle, which is just the simplified version of the other one. Okay. And yeah, it looks like this is going to play a role. I don't actually know where the actual Triforce itself is going, but we built up this little rock piece here. I assume this was the backing so that you couldn't see light through it. But then this is the actual build then. So we've got one of those fantastic pieces with the things on the 3 sides. These are really designed for botanicals, but they are very useful. I'd assume that the transparent studs were going on here, so that's interesting. This is actually really simple. Okay. Oh, we're not even using the robot hands. That's fun. It's the just the shortest bars between them. That's really great. I mean, this is a really clever technique, right? These are the shields that people want them to use, so this makes a whole bunch of sense. Something I would never have probably come up with, but I imagine it's something that Wes in particular has spent a long time probably thinking about is something important to do. And then what does that literally just sit on the stud? Isn't that neat? I don't know, that's really cool, guys. That is a really, really simple way of doing it. I hope that part comes in black. I bet it doesn't, because I reckon he would have used it otherwise, but okay, that's something to bear in mind. It's just the central part might be visible, but that is really clean. It looks good without the border. It's going to look even better with the black border. Yeah, so the reason I really wanted to pay attention to that was because I think it would look good on a lot of things. I want to do a character display because I've ended up with a lot of nonsense Zelda characters, right? Ones that aren't important, but they're still characters that I want to include in the display. And my last version of the display was literally just using the Lego staircase pieces, which obviously was suboptimal. So that literally just folds down perfectly over the top of it. And I really prefer if that clips into the base, but I imagine that would have had a collision, so that's fine. Okay. To be fair, that's really clean. That was ridiculously clean as face goes. I have to say, it's looking slightly bigger because there's more stuff on it. Incredible logic, I know, right? Octane Relic is the most clever thing you've ever said. However, it's still true. It's still very much true. Never mind, it's tiny. I'll bring some sets down for comparison, but this poor thing, it physically does not look worth it. Like I still think the value's there, but physically, like size-wise, it does not look worth it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to buy a second copy of the stand. I'm not gonna buy a second copy of the set. I don't want to spend another 100. But if I can find the stand for like 30 quid, or if anyone doesn't want a stand, again, hit me up. octane.thermoplastic@gmail.com. And ideally, we're in the UK. I don't really want to import a second copy of the stand. I think I can do better than that. But yeah, if anyone doesn't want the stand, I will happily take it off you guys, I think. Because I think a second one could be really, really interesting to expand. This could do completely unique rubble and all of that jazz. So again, this is almost identical to the previous pattern, just rotated. It's a really interesting choice. And this is sugar grid, but without the turntable this time. Okay, I assume to keep the thickness down. Put what, one on you and then one on there, is that right? Yep. Yeah, okay. That's very close to the edge. Ganon might be quite small. Fascinating. This is fascinating. My gut instinct would always have been to give it more breathing room, but it's just not necessary really, is it? I suppose. I love trying to work out why they've made certain decisions. It's so much fun. Yeah, that is a very small thing, but I suppose there is nowhere to put this mech. Like, I had originally positioned this, the mech idea as like you could have them fighting, but for some reason I must have just imagined that this was like way further off, because there is just no room for dude at all. Like, I suppose I could put one leg like up here maybe on there, and then he could have his other foot forward, so then I think it would probably look better if his feet are not stable. I shouldn't be working this out now, I should wait until Ganon's here, but there's obviously a way of making this work that doesn't look trash, but it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be, which is why I designed this mech, which was just for a funny idea of like, you can have Link suit up to take Ganon down. Like, I genuinely think like something like this might be the best option. Like, obviously we'll get the sword into an actual position so that it looks like he's actually attacking it, but that looks ridiculous. Like, it is just straight up stupid. Anyway, wasn't my favourite part of the upgrading video that we had planned anyway. Still a cool model. I don't mean the set, I mean my mech, which is effectively a rip of the 2020 sets, so I can't really say that. Cool, right, so I was right that they were using this stud here for the Link pose, which in almost all of the reviews I saw, nobody did right. So that was fun. Like, this is ridiculous posture on here. Like, he is truly just launching off to nowhere. So, bit of a shame that anyone saw that out properly, but I don't think I'm going to be posing my Link up here personally. Like that. I quite liked it when we put the stud up there. I think that looked better. But yeah, you can have your Avengers moment. There we go. We have a base. You bring it up to the camera. So we're Ganoning from here on out. That was remarkably quick. How long's the stream been going for? 80 minutes, so now an hour and a half. But I've also been chatting and we spent a long time looking at Ganon, but I mean, do I need to keep saying it? It is, this would have been a better as a playset. It's good, I like it, but it's still, I cannot get past the point that this is, I think, the biggest thing I want to do in the upgrading video is I think I want to take it all off the base and have it as like free-form objects just to see what it would look like. Because this undoubtedly looks amazing, it looks really good, but it's so small. I mean, I was thinking it wasn't going to fit on my shelf. It is very much going to fit on my shelf without too much trouble. It's still very cool. Still very cool. Where should I put it? Do you guys want it at the back? Should I put it over? We can put it over on the left. We can hide the spare parts for now. That's enough room. We can get to Ganon. Okay. Now, all that said, love this, love the figures, But I'll be completely honest, the bit that I want most, and the bit that I don't think is going to disappoint, is the Ganon build. The Ganon build is hopefully, well, it's going to be, let's phrase it this way, it's going to be better than any playset version of this thing would be, because there's no way they were ever going to do a playset with this much mobility, and I've heard he does not stand up. However, I'm thinking he's going to look absolutely incredible, be a hopefully fantastic build, and be a great addition to my creature gallery, which, as some of you know, is some of my personal favourite things to build from the franchise. That's a lie. I always love building the locations pretty much more than anything, but for some unbeknownst reason, I have developed a bit of a knack for creature building. I dropped a, I don't even know, why does he have trans yellow studs? Where are the trans yellow studs in this now? I gotta go grab it because it fell down. Where did it go? Oh, it's right underneath my feet. There we go. Oh well, at least we solved that problem. Old goo, I don't know what you mean. Ganondorf, Ganon, Big Man. Calling him Big Man is my personal favourite. Right, I'm very excited for this part, because this is the part that, no matter what I think of the base, is the reason the reason they made this set is the Ganon, right? Like 100%. The Ganon is the heart, the soul of this, the main attraction, the main show. The part I'm most excited for, it's the part I have the most faith in, and it's the part that looks good no matter what, so yeah. I don't feel like I've made myself particularly clear there, but yeah. This is the bit they could sell on its own, which is an argument I don't usually vibe with Lego, because that people are usually like, with the Pikachu, right? They're like, it could be sold, could it be? Oh, sorry, no, with the Venusaur, Blastoise, and Charizard, which also look amazing creature sculpts that I would love to have the pleasure of building. Don't need them because I'm not a Pokemon fan, but I do think that they need the base. Just as, like, I probably non-Zelda fans would say the same about this, right? Like, he needs the base. But this is the most true to playset thing. Like, having a buildable Ganon that Link can fight as a playset would have been awesome. Okay, we're already breaking out the interesting techniques. We've got a Snot Erling direct connection so that we can have the Erling flying off the base unsupported. Those arms have the ratchet joints, which I'm a little surprised about. I kind of assumed the legs would be ratchet for extra stability. So maybe this is going to have to go in an upgrade video, is going to be making Ganon more stable. We'll see. We will see. But I'm really curious to see how they're going to do it, yeah. Okay, so far this is very standard character building stuff outside of the Erling connections. That's quite novel. I'm curious to see the reasoning there.